I won.
Megba Ibomi Danele Chakadu Odumiki Lariat Al-Hassan Mewola Ikoi Engimikide Aditi Sam TV Awemika Kola Uche Bai Ohiala Ibo Igala Enekide Minginikbo Miki Akola Kide Ichi Comrade Enegbani Abel Enemona Ila Anene kiabumi kola boyi kiabumi nene ngini kiabumi gwene nyakolo ngini ichi Priska Iwendi megba medejutane medetitane kumegbola kane kaka ojane uche Ibo Igala.
Thank you very much, Hajia Lesson Lariat. Welcome everybody. My name is Priska Iwendi. Welcome back to another program, a TSAM inspirational TV titled Talking Culture, centered on Igala culture. And with me hosting this program is Hajia Lesson Lariat. And our guest for today is one who is deep rooted in Igala culture, who understands the cultures, the principles that guide Igala culture, and who would enlighten us better on what we should know about Igala culture, in the name of Mr. Abel Anemona. Thank you so much. I didn't want to mother the name. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program. We are happy to have you.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to ask you the first question. The first question will be, please kindly share with us a brief history of the Igala people and what makes their history a unique one. Thank you.
I am Comrade Enemona Abel Ela. The historical foundation of Igala people started far back in ancient time of Egypt. Igala traced their histories to Egypt, the ancient Egypt, not the current Egypt, the ancient Egyptian. And Igala have one time ruled at far back in Egypt, which they trace all their rulership and their folklore back to the 10th dynasty of Pharaoh of Egypt. In the ancient Egypt, when the ancient Egypt parted away, that is when Igala migrated from Egypt. Our ancestors all migrated from Egypt, came down to where we are today, that is named Ida. Ida is the historical center of all Igala, is the headquarters of Igala. During the migrations, the history stated that during the migration they went away in different groups. First group followed the morning sun, second group the evening sun, according to the oral history. But the group that followed the evening sun are the first group that came to Ida, known as Igala Mela, that settled in Ida and established the dynasty. But the second group followed the morning sun are the one who formed the Kwararapa Empire, known as Akuka, the ruling clan. Because Aku, the word Aku means the Igala, is the leader of the Kwararapa empires, who ruled so many years in Kanu before where they are today, and separated. During that process, Igala have to find themselves again to have a central unit authority. That is when they now came together and unite themselves to form one body. Those who follow and establish themselves with the Kwararapa kingdom have to find their brothers who are the Igala Melas to join together, have a central body, which the leader is called Abuteje. So today, Abuteje is being recognized. Whenever you call the name Ida, they would say Ida Logo Abuteje, because he is the founder of one unit authority, the central authority that Igala is enjoying today. It started from the time of Abuteje. From there, during the migrations of others to join the Igala Melas, there are so many other tribes that Igala gave birth to during the migrations. Those like the Idoma, the Igbira, the Nupe, they all follow Igala to form the central body of the Igala kingdom. But after a while, Igala started developing their own central authority from one dynasty to another. After Abuteje, the sister have to emerge Amishi called the Ebulejonu. Amishi was the first woman because at that time, Igala are looking for the most powerful persons to be appointed as a king. So the next person to be appointed as a king after Abuteje went on hunting, because Ata Igala don't normally die. They went on hunting because if Ata died, that means the kingdom is dead. So we say Maloto Kode. So when Abuteje went hunting, the Amishi have to come in. Later, Aganapoji. During the Aganapoji, there is expansion of rulership started. They start sending other peoples to other areas to start having their kingship, their authorities in other areas like Ojibakpoto areas. The Ojibakpoto mean the status of Ata Igalas that will make others to be afraid that yes, Igala expand, the Ata Igala expand its rulership to the boundary areas. After then, the Idoko came in and Oma Ayegba Oma Idoko. During the Ayegba Oma Idoko, the disagreement between the Igalas and the Bini came into conflict that yes, other Jukun and the Bini want to have their own authorities in Igala land. But Ayegba Oma Idoko, being the powerful and a warrior, say there is no way that any other of these tribes that will extend their own authority in his land. That is the reason for the conflict between the Jukun and the Bini kingdom. During the war between the Jukun and the Igala, that is when Omodoko was buried alive. Then the war between the Bini and the Igala, that is when Inipi was also buried alive. So our historical facts and the folklore, most of our histories are buried in our events, historical facts, in our proverbs and names of what happened during that processes. So if you are looking for more of the Igala histories and origin, you have to start going back to check the folklores, the event that happens, and the other facts that are on ground. The proverb, our music, most of our histories are buried in those places. That is the brief about the histories of Igala. When we proceed, we will explain more of this. Thank you, Princess Priska.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ajia Lara.
Thank you so much. Now I'll go to the next question. My next question would be, how does the attack of Igala affect the life, the culture, and the political life of the Igala people?
Igala kingdom came to being after Abuteje established a central authority. The political dynasty of Igala kingdom is like Nigerian government, or Nigerian government traced back their own origin from that place before they established Nigerian system of government. Like Ata Igala, then we have Onuane. After Onuane, have the Gango areas, Madaki. Madaki is not our own word, it's a word from another area. but the symbol of other Onuane, because some people are Ajofe. Onuane means the king of the land. So the extension and expansion of the attack kingdom have to come in like Onuane. After Onuane have his own subordinate that he will rule, like the Gango and the head of the clan and families have their different titles and chief given to them. So during that process, all the Onuane has been given the authority to establish a body that will govern them is similar to Ata government, because during the historical history of our ancestors, there is a Ata established their own judiciary, which is Ogbe. Ogbe now serve as a royal court. Is there till today that anybody who commit any crime within the land will be brought to the Ata palace, judged by the Ogbe, the highest chief priest of the land, will now serve as Ogbe. That case will be judged. During that process, the system of government be able to protect every individual within the kingdom. So in the Onuane have to guide their own principle by establish what we call Ibegu culture. This Ibegu culture are system they use to protect their own offspring or progenies within the kingdom, so that those who don't have power as others have, the Ibegu culture can be able to protect them, both physical and spiritual. The reason is that this Ibegu culture, every head of the clan will participate in the rituals. Every year they will do the activities of Ibegu and Earth Shrine festivals. So during that process, every family will come and make a vow to the ancestor who died before, who understand the land and their family, to also protect the family. No outsider can easily hurt the family from outside, because they have given the necessary rituals they need to do. So the ancestor will serve as angel that will guide the family. During this process, I think within this, every other part of Igalas are mostly stay within the land during the ancestral governance before the coming of modern westernization government. They are well established, fight for themselves. The wealth of individual is the wealth of the community. They recognize people based on what you can offer within the community. They don't represent you based on your wealth, based on value you can bring. You now see that, hey, Atenegene Imeju Chogwinogu Kiahilamone. This person's father, he can farm very well, have a very enough farmland. This person, Chagwalo. So all those things, that is how Igala recognized their people in the ancient time. With this, I can say that with this, Igala have been able to touch every individual and family life, that there is a little progress and civilization that governed them in the past.
Talk about the judicial you talk about the executive and you talk of the legislative Igala setting, from what you have just explained, also has this, robust setting.
Yes.
And it's a very good thing to, to know. And this leads to the third question. My third question would be, how does what are the Igala cultural festivals in the Igala land, and what values does this festival add to the Igala people and the land as a whole? Thank you.
Yeah. Igala festivals are activities that are being done to maintain the Igala native calendars. Igala have a native calendar, and this native calendar started from the market days. Eke, Afo, Ukwo, Ede are the 4 market days. Each of these market days combined together serve as week. So serve as week. Igala call week Aladi. Now, a day, Ojo, a weekdays in Igala, that is days in Igala, and weekdays are called a day. A day Ojo means the numbers of days. So now, each of these market days have their own histories and forms of activities that are being carried out. From these native calendars, Igala native calendar started in February normal calendar month. We call it Gregory calendar. The calendar we are using now is a Gregory calendar, who started in 13th century and early 13th century. Before then, there's so many calendars historically our ancestors are using. But in the calendar we are using is started from February before the first rain. That is when activities of festival will be carried out. Like now, we have the major activities that I'm going to point is the Aneche and Ibegu festival. So we have Earth festival. This Earth festival are the festival to what? To appease all the land. After appease the land, make the land appease it first, so that the land will be more fertile in the next cultivating season. Then there goes to the Otegu festival. Otegu festival is also to appease both the ancestors and the gods of the land. So after appeasing the gods of the land, then other activities like carnivals, and these activities, the way it's been done in the ancient time is that they will put everything together within a short period of 21 days, 15 to 21 days, so that each family who have their own shrine, personal shrine worshiping, will also put their activities within that period, so that when cultivations and farming season start, nobody will interfere with the gods of the rain. Because during that process, those who have power can also hold on to the rain, that it will affect the farmers and other activities in the land. But because of the unique ways of doing togetherness in the past, they will make sure that all these things are being fixed before the next season of the rain. And so many festivals follows. Another Otegu festival is another festival for Thanksgiving. Before the yams to be harvested from the farm, that it will be done around that July, August, sometimes June, depending on when the rainy season starts. It's 2 months from the first calendar year to the next calendar year. Within that short period, another Thanksgiving festival will be done. The first one is to appease. The second one is to thank God that yes, their yam have started producing. This is, they will now appease and give thanks to God and the ancestor for what? For supporting them for the season. So the next one will be during the total harvest from the farm. They will now do cultural festival and carnivals, which all other masquerade from different areas will come to celebrate that yes, this year is a year of what? Glory. Everybody, at that time, there's no more famine. there is a time of the time for harvest. Everybody is rich, everywhere is rich. It's a time of enjoyment. They'll come together to also celebrate it. But before that carnival, there is what we call Osho Festival. Osho Festival is a festival of hunting, that the Ata of Igala in itself have to go out to go and hunt in other sheep from other areas, from other communities, some sheep from sheepdom to come together, and they go and hunt. That yes, this is the time to bring meat to the house for their wife to use to cook for them for this carnival. This is the way Igala have stationed all the festivities within the season, that yes, each of the calendars, they follow it the way it's supposed to be before the modern calendar. Thank you, Princess and Aja.
Thank
I
you.
think I've done justice to your question.
You have done great justice to it. Over to you, Priska.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Abel. You have really done justice in giving us proper history and background about Igala. I myself, I'm not even an Igala lady, but being from Delta and having this beautiful attire on me, I believe that I have gotten a very good understanding of what Igala feels like. I feel like now I'm even, part of the Igala culture. So you mentioned something about when people want to get more of their historical facts about Igala, they should try to check for their events, for proverbs, and also check their folklore and the rest of that. Now, speaking of proverbs, we want to know what kind of proverbs or sayings of Igala and what their meanings are and how they relate to the society generally.
Yeah. When we talk about proverb, sometimes even proverb has been given as a name. Like when we say Okpanachi, mean the era of so person. Are you getting it? But when we say Okpanachi, mean the era. So, and other history like event that take places like Inipi. You know the reason why Inipi is being buried for?
No, sir.
It is during the war between the Igala and the Bini kingdom. So the soothsayer of the land said there must be a royal blood before Igala will be able to win the war. And the only royal blood that the soothsayer have to find out, the gods revealed to the soothsayer, is the princess of the palace. The only princess that at that time is the most recognized princess of the land. And the gods of the land, the ancestors say, before we win this war, we have to take the royal blood. And that royal blood must be Princess Inikpi. During that process, the news was passed to his father, which is Ayegbama Idoko. But Ayegbama Idoko cannot even relate the message to the daughter. But rumor carried within the palace, and the princess heard it. The reason why the father was not feeling okay, because he cannot pass the message that this is what the gods of the land. But after have the rumor within the palace, the Princess Enipi met his father, knew down before his father. He said, if it is me, they are going to sacrifice for the land to be okay, I accept it. That is how Princess Enipi accepted that sacrifice before the Igala kingdom was saved in the war between the Bini and within the and Bini kingdom. So these are history. The same thing with Princess Omodoko. The oral history told us that he's being hypnotized, not that he accepts the sacrifice, the way Princess Inipi accept it, voluntarily accept it. So, but Princess Omodoko voluntarily was hypnotized before she was buried. So now the river serves as a historical fact because at that time, that is when they started what we call they poisoned the river. The river was poisoned because that place served as a camp between the Jukun and the Igala, that they are coming to camp in that place. And they will make use of the water and the fish. So the fish within the rivers are poisonous fish till today. So anybody in this era, even though you catch the fish from the river, you cook it, it will not done.
You cut it to join back.
So many things like that happen within the land. So, and some artifacts that have been used by Igala Kingdom today, some are gotten during the war as their own gain from the war. Because during the Asian war, the moment you fight your opponent, you win. Any good thing is using, you have to take it along. So if you look at the way we call Ushuapa, mean is not our name. Ushu, these people mean they sweet potato. Ushuapa means that is Apa people. They are the owner of the yam before we get them from there. So we name them after them, Uchapa. So these are things that are being put together when you want to get the historical fact from the kingdom. Yes.
So and also these are the proverbs as well that we can also get. Okay. So please could you tell us proverbs or sayings in Igala and what they mean?
Proverbs in Igala have several meaning and directions. But I know today is not the proverb day, but let me just say a few. Like Igbo will say, Ogijo Aduni Kacha Shimoton, means when the elders, where the elders is, the children will not find it difficult to get what they want. And again, Ogijo Idunyi Kewo Kibioma Ewo Kidiku Kibioman, means Ogijo cannot be at home when the goat will deliver when it's at a rope. It's tied to the tree. Several proverbs like that, but my brain will not catch much for today. That is why I don't want to go further on that.
Thank you so much, sir. You know, our viewers to at least understand. Now we've gotten to the last question of today's episode, where we want to know how this Igala culture is being preserved since we are now in the phase of modernization and globalization.
Yeah. In the ancient time, Igala cultures and history is being preserved by storytelling. From stories, different kinds of stories. Then it's being also preserved by most of those who are still a custodians of our earth shrine. Because during the rituals, Igala have to call the names of their ancestors, what they have done in the past before. Like as I am, I'll call the name of my past parents, about 7 or 6 to 10. I'll now say, my name is Enemona, the son of Abu Patrick. Patrick, the son of Ella. Ella, the son of Ikeleji. Ikeleji, the son of Ame. Ame, the son of Asho. Asho, the son of Ekele. Ekele, the son of Aku. Aku, the son of Oguche. This is how. And the activities each of these parents carried out within that time will be mentioned that during your time, This is what you fight for. This is what you fight for. This is what is coming in. So they preserve those things during that processes. That if you are lucky to have those type of people within your family, you can also get more facts and history from them. So our most of other artifacts and activities that happen, like our events and festivals, are ways of preserving the history also. But in the modern ways, we are trying to what? Document it through video recording, audio recording, books. If you look at this book, this one happen as the trajectory of Igala Kingdom, written by Comrade Abel Enemona. It's my own book. So this keep records about the past events and how Igala movement started before the interruption of Western culture and colonizations, and the experience of all the Igalas and other rulers and leaders within the Igala kingdom, what they experienced. So during this modern time, we are trying as far back to also what? Bring this and document it in books, in videos, and so many other platforms that will last for the next generations based on where the global world is going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Madam Hajia Laret Al Hassan. Thank you so much for co-hosting with me.
Thank you so much, Priska. It was a wonderful one, and I enjoyed myself listening to Comrade Enemona, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, and it has rejigged what what I knew from the past. I added some more information, and this is very good. I wish my daughter was here to listen to this, but as in I'm going to get the book for her to read, for myself to read, and for her to read, so that she can also know where she comes from and how the culture of her people is. Thank you so much, Comrade Ula Enemona. It was a nice one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Madam Lariat. It has actually been an amazing conversation with Mr. Abel Enemona, as he has given us deep-rooted information about Igala culture, and this is a very good pointer to people who want to get more knowledge about Igala culture, to academia, especially students who are studying courses such as history and international relations, who want to go into project as that, as well as he has shown you his book, and it's also good for you to purchase it if you want to do well in understanding the Igala culture. And then it also help people who want to go into understanding activists, tourists, and all of that. This will really help you to project Igala culture more better. So it will help to shift any negative narrative that you know about Igala and get a better narrative from it. I myself am actually very impacted by the knowledge that you have dished out, and I believe that outside of here I'll be able to represent the Igala culture more better and represent them well in society. As well as that, if you want to communicate with us, send us information concerning reaching out to our guest, Mr. Abel Enemona, you could also reach out to us at tsaminspirational@gmail.com. You can also visit our website at eternalcast.org, and you can also follow us on the social media handles showing on your screen. Thank you so much for watching, our viewers. Thank you for always being there, and thank you for tuning to get more information on the programs that we have at TSAM Inspirational TV. Once again, I'm still your host, co-hosting with Miss Madam Laret Al Hassan. Thank you so much, and I still